Figure Force! It's Figure Force YouTube toy collector team vlogging to save the day. Figure Force! Nostalgic vintage toy heroes. Figure Force!
Hello everyone, it's Outrider here and welcome to another Figure Force video. And today I'm going to talk to you about one of my favourite childhood toys. Now the issue is with childhood toys is sometimes the reality when you pick those toys back up, especially if it's the same toy as you had when you were a child, sometimes it doesn't match the memories that you have in your head. And the reason for that is that these have aged 30 years, been in storage 30 years, and things have got broken, things have got damaged, things have faded, things have worn, and that can be quite emotional in a way, because you have these memories in your head of these wonderful toys, these things that made you happy, and when you rediscover them, especially if it is the same toy, like I did recently with the haul from my parents, it sometimes can be a sad moment, even though it's happy seeing it again. The reality of the toy, and the condition it's in, that can kind of taint the nostalgia and the memories. And that's what happened with this toy. It was from a toy line that I really wanted to rediscover. It was one of my favourite vehicles from that toy line, and unfortunately when I did get it out of storage, even though the core of the toy was okay, it had pieces missing and pieces damaged. I've gone through a process of waiting, which is not something I'm good at, for the right opportunity to come up to get some spares and repairs, and it just so happens I managed to get all the spares and repairs I needed from a £10 lot on eBay to restore this to not perfection, but to how I remember it. And it is, of course, the Visionaries vehicle, Skyclaw. Now, unfortunately, when I got this back from my parents, the front section here, which always used to come off as a child, was missing. So at first I thought, you know what, that is the one piece I need. Now the gun was a bit damaged and bent, but you know what, I was happy enough to make do with that. Just so happens within this lot, I picked up some other pieces and managed to replace some parts. Now I feel a bit odd about this because I want to hold on to as much as the original toy as I could, because this is a childhood toy, but I couldn't bring myself not to restore it to the right level. And what I mean by that is that one of the gun section here, which you can see there, was completely bent and worn. The interior gun, which I'll get to in a moment when I show you the gimmick, had a little bit of damage on there, so I've replaced that. And the main gun itself, I didn't actually realise was this damaged. So this was this section, but the one that I had as a child. As you can see, I'm missing both the front parts on my original version, and I didn't realise that until I actually picked up this spares lot. One thing I did have to do, however, on the spares lot, there was one of the handles broken off, and there was one of the handles broken off this. So what I decided to do, rather than look for another part, is remove a section of the handle from this and just super glue it on here, and it's held fine. It's held fine. You can see a slight little, what looks like a stress mark here. That's just where I've reattached the new handle, and it's fine. I'm happy with it. And that means that I've got my Skyclaw back together. I'm a little bit disappointed that this front section isn't the section I remember when I was a child, sorry. But you know what? I'm so happy to have this back. This is one of my favourite toys. So you can see here we've got Mordred, who is one of the Visionaries who doesn't have a magical staff. He has the ability to turn into a beetle, which you can see on his lovely hologram there. And he was the renowned coward, or bumlicker. I think he was referred to that as in an episode, actually, of Lord Darkstorm. He did turn into a beetle, so he could cower away. And he came with a kind of scythe, like a short handle scythe, which over the years has got lost, and now is the only part I'm actually missing from this set. And he's of course the driver, and his power was, because he didn't have a staff, it could actually make electronic vehicles work. Now if you don't know why that's a special power, in the world of the Visionaries all electrics stopped working, and it was magic that powered this. I don't know if I can get you to show you some of the, there we go, you can just about see it there. So this has kind of a winged dragon on the side. In the cartoon, that would shoot out, which is very, very cool. You can also see at the back, and this didn't come with this figure, with this set, but you can see Lord Darkstorm with his totem of the mollusk, which I always thought was a little bit odd. He's complete with his axe, and I've also got his decay power staff, which you can actually fit 2 power staffs in there, which I never quite understood, because unless you had a different visionary driving the ship, which you couldn't do because he didn't have the magical powers, because he had a staff. So it never made sense, but you can store two staffs there. This did have one, apart from the holograms, and we've actually got some holograms of Merklin on the back here. There's a button at the back, which activates a gimmick, but before I do that, you can open these wings out, and these guns inside go up and down, like so. And you also have a gimmick where you press this lever at the back, and this cannon shoots out, and this interior cannon is one of the parts I've replaced. So this is Skyclaw, one of my favourite childhood toys, and I honestly am so happy to have it complete again. I'd love to get Mordred's weapon, but it's not essential. This is one of my favourite possessions, and one of my favourite toys, and one of my favourite memories. Opening it up on Christmas Day and playing with all my Visionaries. I have got a lot of other Visionaries. I have got some of the other vehicles. I am missing one main vehicle, which I'm sure I've mentioned in my Holy Grail video. And it's something I do want to try and pick up. I do want to try and get the set of these guys. Unfortunately, as I was saying before, over time, some parts have faded, and on Visionaries it seems to be the holograms that suffer a little bit. You can see on Lord Darkstorm here, even though his hologram looks strong on camera, you can see a little bit of wear here. So yeah, this has been Skyclaw, one of my favourite childhood toys that, with a little bit of money off eBay, and literally 10 minutes of effort, I've managed to bring back to its former glory. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been Zorrider, and I'll catch you again soon.